Well, I started struggling with depression in preteen, probably 8, 9, 10 years old. I can remember having, some pretty serious and unhappy thoughts, some dark thoughts, and through my teen years. And it just didn't really, it got better and then it got worse, and then it got better, it got worse, and that went on for actually several decades. I struggled with it for a little about 30 years. I was nearing 40, and I had a career that I loved. I had a husband that I loved. I had kids that I loved. I had a house that I loved. I was going to church. I had everything, and I thought to myself, if I have all this and I still am struggling with depression, I'm never going to be happy. Never going to be happy. And I was mad. I was just so mad. Like, God, what do I have to do? I'm doing everything that I know how to do. And finally, I just had it. Enough is enough. And I took a massive overdose of my medication, and I woke up 2 days later in the intensive care unit. What I thought was that I could somehow not only free myself from my pain, but I could free my whole family from their pain. I thought that if I do this, my kids will be free. They won't have to be visiting me in the hospital for years and years and years with this problem. But it did not get better, it got worse. I woke up in the ICU, and I realized that I was either going to have to really majorly change what I was doing, or I basically probably would have to spend the rest of my life in a hospital. What God did to help me was to make me realize that He had already, there was a lot of help available to me that I wasn't taking advantage of and didn't know how to take advantage of. So God said, Marguerite, it's all here. I made you to work a certain way, and if you will do it that way, then it's going to work, If you, it's like I didn't need anything different than what God had already provided. Everything was available to me. I just needed to learn to take advantage of it. And I needed to learn that there was no shame in admitting that I had a need. And that was probably the biggest part of it, is that God had supplied all those resources, but I was so embarrassed to admit how needy I was. I was a teacher at a Christian high school. I was a leader in my church. I was very involved. I had a Christian husband. I had all this stuff around me. And it was embarrassing at that point to admit that I still felt so empty inside. But God gave me the freedom. That was the biggest thing God did for me, is He gave me the freedom to admit that I was helpless. And He gave me the resources to get help. And then when I got the help, I realized I didn't have to live that way all that time. There really is help. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. That's the way God made the world. I'm Marguerite Brunel, and I'm becoming happy.